These visuals are from the Ministry of External Affairs in the national capital. This is the South Block that you are seeing at this moment. This is the entrance to the Ministry of External Affairs. And what we are waiting for is the arrival of Canada's charge d'affaires, who has been summoned by the Ministry of External Affairs. Massive escalation as far as India and Canada diplomatic ties are concerned. And this has happened after Canada has named the Indian envoy to Canada as a person of interest in an investigation. And after that, in fact, strong worded statement by the Ministry of External Affairs, and now the charge d'affaires of Canada has been summoned. This is a very, very strong action, and possibly something that we have not seen in the recent past, the way things are in fact escalating in India-Canada diplomatic relations. We are expecting, in fact, any moment the charge d'affaires of Canada to reach the Ministry of External Affairs. Let me very quickly go across to my colleague Aishwarya Jain, who's joining us with more details as far as this story is concerned. Aishwarya, now this is massive escalation as far as the diplomatic ties between both the countries are concerned. We are expecting the Canadian, in fact, officials to reach here any moment. What are you hearing from the MEA?
Well, in a short while from now, what we've been told is the charge d'affaires for Canada, Stewart Wheeler, who is about to arrive at the South Block where we are reporting from. And let me continue to show you these visuals from the South Block. Remember, this comes after Canada designated the diplomats from India as person of interest in an ongoing investigation, following which India accused Canada of concocting allegations. And it was the Ministry of External Affairs who announced that it had received communications from Canada indicating that the diplomats were classified as person of interest, though it did not specify the particular case. Today, remember, it was the government of India who strongly rejected these preposterous imputations and ascribes them to the political agenda of Trudeau government that is centered around the vote bank politics. That's the statement that the Indian government gave. And soon after that, now developments happening in the national capital as far as the Ministry of External Affairs is concerned. It is the Indian government, the MEA over here in the national capital, who had summoned the Canada charge d'affaires and Stewart Wheeler will be arriving over here. Questions will definitely be asked by the MEA as far as what were the intuitions and what were those allegations that led Canada to give such statements where they had named Indian diplomats as person of interest. In fact, remember, it was also earlier that Canada government had claimed that there were Indian diplomats who were involved in the killings of Nijjar in Canada. That was strongly earlier as well rejected, and now today it is the charge d'affaires of Canada who had been summoned, and questions will be asked. Let me again show you these visuals from the South Block, where in a short while from now we've been told that the charge d'affaires will arrive and he will be asked several tough questions by the Indian government. Remember, this comes days after Prime Minister Narendra Modi met Justin Trudeau on the sidelines of the ASEAN summit in Laos, later denied that any substantive discussions took place between the leaders. It has, remember, India, who has been warned that it has the right to take further steps in response to these latest efforts of the Canadian government to concoct allegations against Indian diplomats as well. Remember, this all started last year after Trudeau's initial claims about the Nijjar case that India insisted Canada reduce its diplomatic staff to achieve mutual parity in strength, and alleged that some of the Canadian diplomats were involved in interfering in New Delhi's internal matters as well. And Canada eventually withdrew 41 of the diplomats of from India, and now today, after that, those claims made by the Canadian government, it is the MEA who had summoned the charge d'affaires, and he would be arriving over here. Of course, tough questions will be asked from the side of Canada as to what were those intuitions as far as the claims are concerned when this is an ongoing investigations, and the claims that were made that there were persons who are in interest as far as the Indian diplomats are concerned in Canada, and how they had made these claims. And Indian government today strongly rejected those claims, and soon after that, now development happening in the national capital as far as the Ministry of External Affairs summoning the charge d'affaires Stewart Wheeler. He will be arriving very shortly at the South Block, is what we have been told. From here on, we are giving you this live report from the national capital at the South Block. But remember, it was also Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau hostility to India, which had long been in evidence. Remember, in 2018, his visit to India, which had aimed to currying favor with a vote bank, and his cabinet has included individuals who has openly associated with an extremist and separatist agenda regarding India. It was stated at that point of time as well that India will not entertain such of the claims made by the Canadian government, and therefore the reason perhaps now a strong decision has been taken as far as summoning the charge d'affaires of Canada is concerned. He would be arriving shortly, and we will be bringing you this live report from the South Block anytime from now. We've been told that he would be arriving, and we will continue to report it, and will also try to ask the concerned person who would be coming from Canada as far as charge d'affaires is concerned about what led these claims made by the Canadian government.